idea to one of the richest men in the country. After a handshake, the billionaire quickly sanitized his hands. Mara felt the sting of humiliation. Still, he pitched his idea. A low-cost airline, one that would make flying affordable for the poor. The billionaire scoffed. Airplanes are for the rich, he said. Then he told his bodyguard to escort Mara to economy class. Mara refused. He paid for his seat and stood his ground, but he underestimated the power of money. The billionaire whispered something to the flight crew. Moments later, the plane turned around.
You own the ticket. I own the plane, my friend.
Mara was kicked off the plane, utterly humiliated. What the billionaire didn't realize was that this poor man would become his greatest threat. And this isn't fiction, it's a true story. As Mara left the airport, an older man named Babu stopped him. He had overheard Mara's plan. Babu understood the vision. In India, 90% of people couldn't afford to fly, but the demand was massive. Still, airplanes cost millions. Babu asked for detailed numbers. Mara took him to a small diner. He ordered a plain pizza. Babu hesitated, then took a bite and was stunned. It tasted like something from a five-star hotel. Mara explained, five-star food and street food aren't that different. The price comes from packaging, not the product. Same with flying. Cut business class, cut in-flight meals, pack more economy seats, low fare, high volume. That's the model. It clicked for Babu. Mara didn't just dream big. He understood business. But to move forward, investors had to sign off. Babu took Mara to pitch the idea. The answer? Unanimous rejection. Planes were expensive, and government approvals were unpredictable. Mara had a solution. Don't buy planes. Lease them. After 9/11, Boeing had a surplus of grounded jets. They were renting at half price, a narrow window of opportunity. The board agreed to fund it, but said the money would take 6 months to release. So Babu asked Mara to front the lease payment himself, $6 million. Even after mortgaging his land and home, Mara was $4 million short. He turned to his village's wealthiest man, who also happened to be his father's former student. The man wanted to help, but the risk was too high. Mara raised the interest to 30%. Reluctantly, the man agreed. Then came the next wall, government paperwork. At the Civil Aviation Authority, Mara waited all day. No signature. The director said he had meetings. Come tomorrow. Day 2, still no signature. Come back tomorrow. Day 3, the director is on leave for a week. He had never intended to sign. Mara was a nobody. Crushed, Mara sat alone at a train station until he overheard something. The president was visiting town. He called a journalist friend and snuck into the hotel where the president was staying, but security stopped him. He shouted, "I want to start a low-cost airline." That got the president's attention. He told him everything. Years ago, Mara had a fight with his father and ran away. He joined the Air Force. One day, he got word his father was dying, but he couldn't afford a plane ticket home. No one would lend him money. Even after he revealed he was a soldier, he missed his father's final moments. That heartbreak lit a fire in him. He vowed no one else would suffer like that. The president, moved by his story, wrote him a personal letter of recommendation. With that, Mara finally got approval. His airline was ready for takeoff. But then disaster. Their U.S. airline partner pulled out. The Indian Aviation Authority suddenly added a new rule. Boeing had to hand over their plane blueprints, or all planes would be grounded. Clearly targeted, Mara confronted the director. Crushed again, Mara informed the investors and then learned the biggest betrayal of all. It was the billionaire. He had orchestrated everything. He owned the director. He rewrote laws overnight. Even some of the investors were his puppets. Mara's dream threatened his monopoly, so he buried him in $47 million of debt. Mara confronted him, but was thrown to the ground like a dog. He was just an ant challenging an elephant. Devastated, Mara sat alone on a rooftop staring at the sky until a tiny sparrow sparked a thought. Small, light, efficient. He didn't need big jets to run an airline. Small cargo planes could work. Costs would be way lower. He had a new plan. He contacted a cargo airline willing to lease old freighters, but he still needed $30 million, and he had nothing. That's when his wife handed over every rupee from their bakery. Then his father-in-law stepped in with his entire life savings. They didn't blame him. They believed in him. At the bank, something incredible happened. His account kept filling. The bank staff told him the money was from his village. Mara called home. The villagers had heard what happened. They rallied. They sold crops, sold land, sold livestock. Every family gave what they could. They believed in Mara. They were proud of him.
அறிவை பார்த்து பணத்தை கொடுத்துட்டு எல்லா பக்கத்தையும் திருப்பிக்கலாம்னு கேட்டேன். 6 மாசத்து வட்டியை புடிச்சுக்கிட்டே கொடுப்பேன்ட்டான். ஊர் ஓட்டப்பட்டா எதிரி ஒண்ணும் செய்ய முடியாது. இனி ஜெயிக்கிறதும் தோக்கிறதும் ஓங்கறதா தான் இருக்கு.
Mara wasn't alone anymore. He carried the hopes of the poor on his shoulders. With that, he launched his airline. No planes? He converted cargo planes into passenger flights. No airports? He used abandoned airstrips. No pilots? He hired retired Air Force veterans. Every obstacle, he crushed it. Finally, his airline took flight. But just before landing, the control tower denied clearance. The billionaire had struck again. Fuel was running out. Mara made a bold decision, divert to a nearby Air Force base. Would he make it? This is the story of Sorarai Patru, and it's one
ம்